Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So over the last few days, Ian and I have both been a little bit poorly. We've both contracted one of those summer or springish kind of bugs. So we've both been feeling absolutely dreadful. Ian spent the entire of Saturday and Sunday in bed, whereas I had to get out of bed because one of us needed to do stuff like cook and eat and walk the dogs and that kind of thing. So it's been a very kind of like dreadful past few days, to be honest, but today I'm feeling a little bit better, and I thought I'd come down or come and sit and just try and kind of just do something just to kind of break the cycle of, I won't say monotony, because when you're poorly you don't really want to do anything anyway, but just kind of do something. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I've got a stencil, I've got my journal, I've got some grit paste, I've got some paint, and I've grabbed a bag of Tim Holtz Field Note Ephemera and an image that I've had kicking around for a while that I haven't used. So I'm going to just do something in my journal. So whether it turns out any good is, well, I suppose it's all down to interpretation and whatever. So I just want to, I'm going to kind of work in the middle, leave kind of a lot of white space around the outside. So the main focal will really just be just towards the centre of the page. Like I said before, my watchword this year is, ignore perfection kind of thing. We're not going for perfection at all. So just do 3 small areas of texture. And maybe just a little bit down here. Just in that sort of triad way that we use for visual triangles, just to kind of draw the eye around the page a little bit. Like I said, I'm not working over the entire of the page today, and like I said, if it's all broken, that's fine, Okay, so I'll just drop that down there for a second, put the lid back on my texture paste. You can pretty much see, just with that light, I think, where that texture is. Just catching it there, sort of. Yep, just there. Right, so I'm just going to nip off, wash the stencil and the spatula, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that texture paste is now dry enough to accept a coat of white gesso. So I've got some white gesso from Indigo Blue, and I'm just going to grab a quick brush . Just make sure it's clean, well, cleanish anyway. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly kind of go over, not necessarily to seal it in, but I do want to add on some layers after this of translucent paints. So I want them to sit on the surface, because this is going to be a page of kind of manoeuvring and drippage and runs and that kind of thing, fairly sort of organic-y. So certainly not controlled, no precision, just let sort of nature take its course and let chaos do what it wants to, because we all know chaos, if it can happen, it will happen. So that should do, just to give it a kind of bit of a base. So I'll quickly dry that off. Right, so the gesso is dry, so I've pulled out 2 colours. I've got Burnt Sienna and Terra Vert. earth green. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the burnt sienna. So I'm just going to take a real small amount, add some to my worktop, get it nice and loose, and then just kind of do a wash over those bricks. Right, and as I said earlier, it's going to be a fairly sort of fast and loose page. So let's just add some more water and then let's let it run, drip. Let it do what it wants. So let's just add a little bit more water to it. So we're adding water and then adding water. And then just to kind of break up that background a little, just so it's not all wishy. That's it. And then we'll add a little bit more paint, a bit more water. And then let's see if we can get that to run, drippy drip. Let's just tip it that way for a second, let it run the opposite way. That's it. I'm going to break up this line a little bit. There we go. And then drop it back down the other way. Let it run. And then I'm going to turn it. And then turn it back again. And then finally just break those last few bits up. And then I'm pretty much going to leave that there as it is to dry. I may just encourage it a little bit with the heat gun, but that's pretty much it. And as you can see, I've not used a huge amount of paint. Okay, so I kept the drying process in because I wanted you to see how it was evaporating off the page, because it does look cool actually when you're evaporating colour off the page like that. Right, so I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to add in some of that green terre verte. Now don't forget, these are translucent paints, which means that the colours are not opaque, they're not matte, so you will get show through. But the green just adds a bit more of a kind of natural feel to it. So I'm just going to add it in certain areas, almost kind of like a moss, kind of like an algae-ish sort of feel to it, almost like a kind of garden wall. But I'm going to try and keep it to the confines of where I've been. A little bit. And again, just add a little bit of water just to soften it up so that we can get it to move and just kind of blend into that page. Just maneuver it a little bit. Just want a little bit of the green tinge. That's it. You can see it better there, can't you? That's what I'm looking for. That's the ticket. Now that it's dried, you can see that greenish kind of tinge to it there, which is cool. So now I just want to add in a little bit of warmth. So I'm looking for my new yellow ochre. There it is. So actually, do I want yellow ochre? Yeah, let's add in, excuse the banging, if you can hear the noise coming from downstairs. Ian's ventured into his garage. Like I said, we're both feeling a little bit better. Okay, so let's just wet this up a little, and then we'll just see if we can add some of that warmer tone. I suppose it's more kind of like intuitive as to where you see the colour needing to be. If you look at the page itself, you just think to you, you know, if it feels like it needs to be, then it probably does. But doesn't necessarily need a lot. So on the rest of that, I think I'll just warm up those areas. Will do. Let's not go mad. A little bit of restraint. Okay, just a few tinges. Okay, so you can now see just the hint of that yellow in there, which is cool. That's fine. Right, so now I'm going to just bring in my image of my lady there, and I'm going to just create a little kind of cluster where I'm hoping, you see, that's the sort of thing I want. That's the sort of thing. Just maybe Don't do too much. Just a little. So you do need something just to soften the bottom, that harsh line here at the bottom. So let's just see if we can find, is there like a little specimen label or something like that? Private collection, there we go. Just kind of hide her a little. I don't know whether this is all from the same set or whether I've dumped things together. So maybe just auditioning things just on the page a little. But I also think it needs just something else. We've got a butterfly in there somewhere, maybe. Too big. It's too darn big. I just want a little one. Just talk amongst yourselves while I try and find a butterfly. Just want a little one. That's more like it. I'm not bothered about the fact you can see the white border around the edge. Don't mind that at all. So what else is there in here? Another mushroom. Let's stick another mushroom in there. Why not? Just to kind of finish off. Let's bring that out a minute. Let's put that there. And then maybe just it's got that little bit touch of green in, like we've got there. I think I'm happy with that. Like I said, I'm not going mad today, so we can get away with quite a lot. Right, glue. I've got some watered down PVA in this fine tip applicator here. Hopefully there's going to be enough. So let's just lift those off. I'm not going to distress. Don't want to distress. So let's just stick this on the back here. So that one about there. And I'm sticking down onto texture paste and that kind of stuff, so I've just got to be patient. It won't grab immediately, but it will grab. So where did we have that? That was about there, wasn't it? So I just need to stick that pelargonium Alright, so let's bring her back in again. So she's about there, won't she? And then we have the mushroom. So the next layer we want is that little mushy there, So she needs to go down now. I've got the radio playing downstairs and all I can hear is staccato and fugue. It'd be alright if I was doing Halloween. Can I remember whether it's G or F? Right. About there. Come on. There we go. And then les mouches. Champignon. And then we can do that one. Funny piece of music to have on the last day of February. We're getting there. We are getting there. Right. I suppose this is the boring bit for some people, to watching me stick things down. Or the interesting bit for others. There we go. Got loads and loads and loads of these packets of ephemera, and I always think to myself, what the heck am I going to do with all these? Oh, but I still buy them, even though I don't use them very often, because they do come in handy. Right. Private collection. Just wants holding down until that glue grabs. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. I'm not going to do any more. So I'm just going to let that sit and dry for a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. Everything's had a chance to kind of grab. So I just want to finish off just by adding a little bit more grounding just at the bottom. And to do that, I've got a Stabilo oil pencil, but it's not black, it's brown. Hopefully the camera is picking up that it's actually a brown colour. It doesn't actually give you 8045, it says on there, whatever that is. So I'm just going to go a little bit underneath, just on that side there. Just creating just a little bit of shadow. That's all it is. And with it being a Stabilo awl, obviously it's water soluble. So it doesn't need a huge amount of water just to kind of finish it off. And because we've got that little drip down there, it kind of blends. And that's it. Don't think I want to do anything else. I'll just quickly get that dry and I'll be right back. That's it, done. So all I want to do now is just quickly give it a quick scribble sign. So I shall just quickly sign it and date it just under here. So 28/2/23. And that's it for today. So just that quick a little mixed media art journal page, just to say I've not disappeared off the face of the earth, even though I haven't posted the last few days. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed watching me create that. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up because it really does help support the channel. Share the video with your friends if you want to, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking that button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.